Alrighty, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Bitcoin's close to all-time highs. Altcoins are kind of blasting off. So what I want to do today is really focus in on some Bitcoin technical analysis. There's a lack of news for today, except for maybe one minor story, but I don't even think it's worth talking about. So there's a lot of technicals, a lot of questions, a lot of just hanging out today. And then we're going to be talking about why all this is happening. And kind of, I told you guys a few days ago, I'm basically buying up altcoins and stuff like that. If you guys didn't watch the video and you guys didn't buy anything, not my fault. But a lot of fun stuff to talk about today with you guys. So hey, Villaret, hey, Liminal, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna give a treat to Loki very fast because he's been waiting patiently here. And there we go. And then, oh, hello. Yum. All right. Coming this week, before we get started here, you're gonna start to see me, start posting like the top 5 crypto tokens, the top 5 stocks, top 5 AI tokens, whatever. You're going to see a lot of top 5s, top 10s and stuff like that coming from me. As I get better at it, they will become more frequent, but I'm just going to do one video a day talking about a story that I think is interesting. And then from there, I'll blast off and do a little bit more, okay? So that'd be kind of the goal here. And we'll see how it goes. Today's stream is sponsored by Weeks, BYD5, Flux Charts, and FK Kirsten's Pipes and tobacco, in case any of you guys want to get any of that type of stuff. Logie. Okay, there we go. Sorry. He closed the garage door that goes outside, so I wanted to make sure he was not stuck in the garage. So let's hit everything here. Hey, Crypto Healy, and IIII. There we go. There we go. I don't know anything about a Shibarium and Leash token scam. I don't trade tokens like that usually, but if you give me a few minutes and I'll probably try to look it up. Just remind me. So let me see if I can get at this one very fast. I need to go there and update this. There we go. The other one was meant for CNBC mode. So we've been ripping since 2023. We've been having a very good time since January of 2023. Everything's been very nice. We're still going higher. And even right now, we're about to break out to all-time highs and try to go all the way up here. It's like the next big level of resistance, which is $171,000. Now, Bitcoin doesn't always reach these key levels. You know, sometimes we have all-time highs before that and we kind of break down or something like that. If you go back over here to this chart, you guys can recall that we had trend-based fibs way over here. Right, and we went above the blue level. We went above everything, right? And we didn't really have a key level where everything worked out. Even if you took off fibs, right? Didn't matter. We didn't really have any clear move. And I think that was partly because of COVID and what happened there, right? As far as that crazy move. If you were to adjust it to this where we never had COVID, still doesn't have an impact because all of that stuff was kind of baked in, if you will. This time we'll have to see if we can really get up all that way. Go up all the way to here, 168, 175. The key level is 174,481, excuse me. $841. See, I got dyslexia. Ooh. After that is all the way up here around 318,000. I don't think that's going to happen. We've been in kind of a tear here. I want to remind people this bull market that we had back in the day, that lasted, I don't know, kind of topped out over here. That one really lasted around 210 days, or if you really want to stretch it, 420 days. Since we started rocketing off way back here, it's been 952 days. This bull market has been a lot more lengthy. I wouldn't say it's stronger because, again, we really haven't made like parabolic moves or anything, but we're still moving, and I think that overall that's a very good thing for us to be focusing on. However, you guys know how I like to trade, and although I was out of commission last week because I was getting used to some new medication, don't freeze on me, there you go. We had a few rules. MACD was good, stochastic was good, although it got kind of choppy here for a second. It got good right there and still good now. And the RSI was good except for the choppiness we just saw there. Everything was kind of pointing towards the green zone, or the majority of stuff. And if you went over to the daily chart, you had a green buy signal back over here on August 11th, right? If you bought at the end of the day once the confirmation was there, you guys are very happy with the results right now. Oh, and I guess sometime over the last few minutes, Bitcoin hit all-time high again. So now we got another all-time high, which is fantastic. Let me see right here. 15-minute chart, that's basically what we have now. And it's not the biggest breakout I've seen in the world, but it looks like 123,637. That's a pretty good move right there. We don't need the MACDs and everything like that. Across the board, you're seeing altcoins moving. I mean, you know, Ethereum is up 3.5%, Solana's up 5%, Dogecoin's up 4%, Trump is up 4%, Melania is even up 2 or 3%. You know, Bonk is up 7%. A lot of good stuff here. Let me go over here to the regular ones. There we go. Funny enough, the trending tokens are basically just large market cap tokens. Even OKB, which is up 123%, that's still a relatively higher market cap token. Don't know what the news is there, but they're doing pretty well. Again, everything looks pretty green except for stable coins, and I'll take it. You're seeing Dogecoin doing well, Tron doing well, Solana, BNB, everything is doing okay. I would actually say BNB and XRP are doing just okay today, not even great. But let's talk about the portfolios, because we have 3 that we've been watching here for a while. The group portfolio is safe since we bought it a few weeks ago, a month ago now, 2 months ago now, something like that. That is up 32% since we bought it, 32.61%. Our best performer is Bitcoin, which means we're making the most money out of it because it is more heavily weighted. And the worst performer is Bubble Maps here, down 31%. Not that bad. That's living fine. But up around $328 when we put in about $1,000. That's a good return. Fartcoin is basically breaking even right now after all this time, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is, right? It's a meme coin. Whenever we have altcoin season, it'll blast off. We'll take our profits and run. High risk time, this is just the high risk portfolio where there is no Bitcoin. It's just basically meme coins and lower market cap tokens. This one is basically up 14.5%. This one was up only like 2-3% a few days ago. Aradigm Finance is up 77%, so a really nice move. Or SERP is down around 13%, which is not a nice move. And you can see everything right here is looking pretty fine, pretty good. So, you know, mixed bag, but overall I think we're doing fine. Now, because Bitcoin is still bullish over the next few days, we're hitting levels of resistance and we're breaking out to all-time highs, we should be good for more longs going forward. The thing that I would stress to you guys is we do have economic data coming out tomorrow. So remember, yesterday was all about the CPI data, consumer price index, core CPI year over year, and all that type of stuff, right? That's the focus. Tomorrow is producer price index, or PPI, which is another level of inflation. PPI is business inflation. So the inflation that's hitting businesses that sooner or later turns into CPI because it gets passed on to the consumers. Friday, we have a little bit of stuff, but nothing too crazy, right? Some imports and retail sales, fine, right? But what's nice about this, because Bitcoin is set to explode, because we have one more day of data left that really matters, then we have to look forward to next week in saying, hey, if we have good PPI data right here, and next week, what do we have that could challenge Bitcoin and boost Bitcoin? See me. Look at this. Nothing. Jobless claims, that's it. That's it. We don't have anything for a minute here. So excuse me, that was last week. We don't have anything for at least a couple weeks here where it can shock Bitcoin into going down. The only thing that I think right now that can shock Bitcoin is that PPI coming out tomorrow, and if Donald Trump does some type of policy that could really damage the markets in a way where people freak out and they become uncertain. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know we have the markets, not markets. I know we have Trump talking to Putin sometime this week or next week coming up. That'll be something interesting. But I don't think it's going to be enough here to really drag Bitcoin back down. Remember, go to the monthly chart. We're looking very good right now. Strong month. On a month where, you know, even I was like, I don't know what's going to happen this month. I anticipated this going down in the beginning of the month, then going up towards the end of the month. But we've been kind of going up now in the middle of the month. So what happens at the end, we'll have to see, right? So I was a little bit wrong about that one. What I'm going to go over here and do is the 15-minute chart. I wanted to show you guys some stories and whatnot, but like there really wasn't too much news today. Shares of the bullish crypto exchange went live today, and their IPO was a blockbuster. This is an institutional type of exchange though, so it's not that good for everyday people. Kava and Chipotle and other fast casual restaurant chains are finally being hit by the consumer slowdown. They're very, very expensive to go. If you want to go to Chipotle nowadays, you're going to pop out like 20 bucks for a meal, which is incredibly expensive. Right? So there really wasn't a crazy amount of news, which I think overall is pretty darn good. Inflation, I know we look at this every now and again. Inflation doesn't look like it's spiking. This is CPI. PPI doesn't look like it's spiking at all either. I could probably make that the same type of thing, yeah. In fact, it's been going down the last few months. So that we haven't seen those spikes yet, which is very, very good. And the odds of us having a rate cut now, and I want to stress to this is hilarious. Zoom, zoom, there we go. The odds of a rate cut are 93.8%. What's hilarious is there's supposed to be a 0% over here for the current rate cut, but because it's a 0%, they've actually taken out the current rate cut, or the current rates that we have. So the current rates, if I can, why is this app freezing? Yeah. Okay, refresh. There we go, okay. Right here, there's a 0% chance for the current rate cut. A 0% chance, which I think is just, and again, hilarious. But we're gonna give it some time here. Gonna give this some time. As long as the market is happy, I think I'm happy, and that's all that matters. Because if I'm happy, you're happy, everybody's happy, the world's happy. I think that makes sense, but it probably doesn't. Okay, if you guys have any questions, whatnot, let me know. We're gonna talk about pretty much anything today. We're gonna be watching Bitcoin heavily, of course, but because there isn't so much news out there, I don't wanna just bore you with random stories out there. I even went to Cointelegraph, and although yesterday was probably a little bit more of a newsworthy day, today, Google Play's new rules won't affect non-custodial crypto wallets. Bitcoin bulls charge at all-time highs. Altcoin season 2025 is almost here, but the rules, I mean, like, there's nothing really newsworthy today, which I kind of enjoy. So let me say hi to all of you guys here. And hey, Gigi Hunter, happy to see you. I'm doing very well. All-time high big bag time. Heck, I'm still waiting for some of my tokens to do really well right now. Some of them are up, some of them are down. And hey, Mo, no, this is a new location. Basically, my cleaning lady was here the other day, and sometimes when they're cleaning, she will be mopping, and instead of like being in the background of where I stream, I just put up my old green screen, which is just usually close by to my little stage here. So I put that there in case they were still here when I was, the lady was still there because my grandma comes with her, to like clean and whatnot. So I just wanted to make sure you guys aren't seeing somebody who maybe doesn't want to be put on the screen and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll probably take it away eventually, but it's kind of nice. I mean, I don't mind it. You see right here, it just goes back into a normal green screen, while another one is kind of like a high rise or something like that. If I wanted to record in a high rise, I got access to the Columbia Tower because I'm a member up there, but I've been up there in a freaking minute. And hey, Angie, happy to see you. Thanks for liking the streams. Hey, Mohammed, thank you. People don't move the crypto market. No, it's usually big, big institutional movers and stuff like that. But retail has its purposes. Primarily, I would say in the altcoins. When retail hops in there, institutions will follow. And hey, Mo, thanks. Putin Trump is this Friday. That's good to see right there. Ethereum 5K. Okay, let's talk about that. Everybody's been talking about Ethereum. We had a plan for Ethereum, but honestly, I would have been scaled out completely by now. In fact, I am scaled out completely of my Ethereum long. Sorry to say. I know I feel kind of stupid now, but I don't even have like 5% left in that sucker. I have long-term Ethereum, but remember this trade we did? Because momentum was strong back over here. Everything was still green, right? So I bought some a little bit over here. I was kind of shocked that we went down, but we didn't break down, right? So I bought some over here on the pump back up, and then basically bought a little bit more over here towards the high point, not the breakout point. I kind of fudged up there, but I sold most of my stuff right here, like a little bit right here, but the majority of it on that breakout, I was done. Probably my bad, sure, but let's see what's going to happen in the future here because we are breaking out. So long story short, Ethereum momentum is still good. Ethereum momentum, usually if you buy when everything is turning green and bullish, you usually have a good time. It may take a little bit of time, right? You see this one, it took a few weeks before it really started to get going. Back over here. This took a little bit of time, but this was pretty much grinding up right here, right? And of course, back over here in the bear market, that didn't work out too well. But I think by that point, the monthly charts were all bearish, weren't they? Yeah, that was all pure bearish. Oh my gosh. But again, look at the monthly chart right here. We're pretty darn close to all-time highs. I don't think this is a bad opportunity to shave a little bit off if you guys have been buying over the lows. See, if you guys have been buying through the cycle, this is an appropriate time to shave some off. If you guys bought some over here, you don't necessarily have to shave some off, but I would just be aware that you are at a massive level of resistance. Because we have another inflation data coming out tomorrow, I think PPI will kind of lead the way from Bitcoin coming down and Ethereum coming down. But if the inflation is as good as the CPI was this week, I do think you have an opportunity for Ethereum to go well beyond $5,000 and probably start heading up to $5,500 to $6,000 by, let's say, October, right? So I do think there's a really good move happening right here. Actually, look at the daily chart very fast. And you can see there's actually a clear Fibonacci level here. Right? And it hasn't really been I mean, it's been okay, but not really valuable because the boosting that's been happening right now is people have just been rushing in to grab all this stuff. In fact, let's get rid of all these other drawings so I can just actually do a few things here. All right, so none of this has really been accurate so far. You can tell there's been some resistance, but there's another thing that's really dragging this down. With Ethereum, it's a little bit more difficult because it has been going sideways for so long. This kind of reminds me of IBM, the IBM of stocks, if you will. There's a few different levels you can do, and you can just see which one works. I've been going off of this one a little bit of a longer term. Looks kind of funky, but it works. Resistance, 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 and no resistance here because we're still breaking out and blasting out. That next level is up towards $6,500. So that may be the high we see through this market here. But I think Ethereum can go very well. And primarily because Ethereum is being bought up just like Bitcoin was being bought up by MicroStrategy. And I think that's probably a good thing for us overall. Just know that, you know, when Ethereum does crash, it'll crash like everything else because at the end of the day, it is an altcoin. But in the short term, yeah, this thing is rocketing. I'm pretty happy to see it go up higher. I don't really have any plans to swing trade this in the future. I already have some other plans I'm locked into, and the primary reason is it's already kind of above all of its moving averages, and it's making a nice move. That's why I got long-term holdings on it. But short-term stuff, you know, just go through the list and see if you can find any gems where they might be able to break above a moving average, and you might see some volatility. Like Trump had an opportunity here. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but when it broke above the moving average, it rallied up about 12%, 13%. When it crossed back down, that swing was about 20%, so there was opportunities there. Melania is not there yet, but I think Melania is a dark horse if you guys want to get into a token. And I stress dark horse. This thing has not been going down for the past few months, which is amazing because it should be going down. Whiff, opportunity there. Bonk, no. Miro, yes. Miro just got a big boost the other day, so I'm watching this thing closely. I'm about to be profitable. Baby Dogecoin opportunity. Book of Meme, no. Sheeb opportunity. Sheeb needs to figure out what it's doing. It's been going flat for a minute here. Very, very flat. Pepe, no. Floki, maybe. Milady, meh. ADA, meh. Again, these could be good for like swing trading. I'm talking about like if you want to play that blast off moment. AMP is an opportunity right here. Ape needs a couple more weeks, but that's an opportunity there. Arbitrum's having the big move this week, right? And it's up 18% today, right? So if you can find those things that are near those moving averages, I think you're going to be fine. But some things are obviously just far away from them, and that means you can still trade them, but you might not see those massive movements you're hoping for there. All right, let me go back over here to Bitcoin, because we still got to wait and see if Bitcoin's going to hit all-time highs. Let me see. How can I do this? There you go. All right. Move that over. All right. And hey, Digital K, happy to see you, my man. Happy all-time high day. That is a good thing right there. Same here. There you go. Looks like a double top. Remains to be seen just yet. We still have to break out, confirm the breakout, and then go higher. We have about, what, 40 minutes until this is a confirmed breakout. Then we can be a little bit better. But I want to stress, a lot of it is PPI data coming out tomorrow. Everybody is celebrating right now because everybody, like 90% plus, assume we're going to have a rate cut. Anything that messes with that perception is going to be very, very bad. Profit is profit. Oh yeah, I take it all the time. And hey, Bait, can I check out VVS Finance? Is that a crypto or a stock? And let me know what you want to know about it, from like day trading to swing trading, or like a more of a fundamental of what the company actually does. Let me know. I can help you out there. I should probably make that like a pinned post eventually of just like how to ask for like crypto and what do you call advice, because people want to know a lot of things about it and I don't want to do all of it because I may not be answering the question they're looking for, right? Let me see. Arbitrum is really just doing fantastic. Look at this. This is a 15-minute chart. I think it's been boosting. You know, excuse me. This thing has gone down a lot, specifically as Ethereum's been doing fine here over the last few years. So I think it just is, everybody's jumping into it all of a sudden. That's Bitcoin. There we go. Feels weird. We just hit all-time highs with Bitcoin, so now the line looks a little bit kind of funky. I should probably just do a horizontal line, can't I? Not a ray. There we go. And let me just have a little text there on the 15-minute. Fine. There you go. All time highs. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. I don't think I can make the text even larger than this, which really sucks, but I'll have to deal with it. Crypto all-time high. It's on the Crow chain. Okay. So, technical analysis or fundamental analysis? Just let me know and I can help you out there. Oh, you're also the number 2 commenter. There we go. All right, there we go over here a little bit more. GTC is up 44%, but this looks a little bit different. All of that move happened within what? 15, 30, 45, maybe an hour? Been coming down ever since. I did not have a bull run, so that's technical. Okay. VVS crypto. There it is. Oh, that liquidity looks pretty darn bad, and this thing is a bunch of zeros based off of how that number looks, right? Oh, this is just like CP, not CPI. What's that? What's that one that we make fun of every now and again? We're not making fun of it anymore though because it has been doing well. Well, I'll remember the name of it when I do. Sheeb. Did I get rid of it? Or maybe it's a different color. I'll just find it here. It's not an issue. Because they do have a similar story, how they came about during the end of the bull market, right? And that matters a lot. So, internet computer, ICP, not CPI, ICP. There we go. All right. Similar chart. If you look at the, yeah, similar chart right there. All right. So this thing has had a couple rallies over here. January 2024, February 2024, November 2024 had some big boosts. Okay. So this thing has been having lower highs here, but we haven't had altcoin season, which means it's still okay. Right now, this is still in a pretty bullish phase. Everything is still pointing towards higher moves. So if you want to buy some up right now, you definitely can. I would be doing more of a practical approach of dollar cost averaging through this time. And I guess now it'd be more over here. But I think you will see a breakout before the end of the year. And I don't know if that breakout will hit all-time highs. But I do think that breakout with an altcoin season type of momentum can definitely get it back above this level right here, the high level from March of 2024. I'm not going to say that number because it's like E -5, which means it's like a lot of zeros are missing from that, basically 5 zeros. But what you're seeing is a very nice channel. It hasn't, you know, really been close to the lows and stuff like that as of late. So I'd be playing it safe and just accumulating. It sounds like you may already have some. So if you already have some, I would just be holding and waiting and waiting. Hopefully able to buy in kind of this low range over here. If not, if you're up here a little bit more, I might move the stop loss a little bit down just in case there's some type of big rejection from the market. But right now, I think this is fine. You're gonna wait a little bit though, because I don't anticipate some type of move like this, right? It's gonna be something more like this, right? Or maybe I should do this on a daily chart, because the weekly chart always makes it seem like it's gonna take months and months for this to happen, or like years, excuse me. More like a rejection over here into late August, a breakout through September, probably a nasty dip that retest, and then coming in October after we have a rate cut, then you'll really start to see it blast off there. But if you have any positions that are underneath here, you're gonna scale out like 10% right there, and you're gonna probably scale out like 40% right there, so you're 50% out, and whatever is up here you just sell whenever you want to. I think it can definitely make a move. You're lucky that it hasn't like fallen down into oblivion, where even though Bitcoin's going up, it's still coming down and down and down. Those are the worst types of tokens right now. They may have bumps, but you know, your averages, if you bought into them too early, your averages is all the way up like this, so no matter what happens, you're kind of losing money at this point. And because you kept the token so long in this sucker, not you, just example, because you kept the token so long, you could have sold this out, taken the loss, put it on your taxes, and put this money to work on some other token over here that could have made you money, right? Okay, now you said it was VVS. $178 million market cap, which is very small, which means it can go higher. It's only up around 0.5% today, though. All right, it's only up around 0.5% after today, so it's not seeing the biggest moves. Yeah, I wouldn't hold it much longer after that altcoin season boom. Yeah, I'd be very skeptical of holding this for the long term. Short term, though, yeah, and by short term I mean next few months. Yeah, that can work out for you for sure. Excuse me. I swear, whenever I stream, I feel like I'm tired. But beforehand, I'm all good to go. It could be because I'm drinking some tea. I got some ginger tea with me today. Ginger lemon tea. I even strained the leaves out. And hey Puma, mind if you take a look at Penguin? What's the ticker for that one? I see it everywhere, even in plushies at retail stores. I think during altcoin season, people will buy this up. Thoughts? I mean, during altcoin season, everything runs, but I can give you technicals of where it could go. Just let me know the ticker for it. And hey, Bryce, let me know what you want to know about Colette. If you say the ticker, I have no idea if you're asking for fundamentals or technicals and stuff like that. Do you mind taking a look at Aerobud? Oh yeah, I can do that after a minute here. I'm just waiting to see if Puma tells me the ticker very fast. Let's see. This is the 5-minute chart. Yeah, Bitcoin is still doing fine here. We might see 124,000 bucks over the next couple of hours. I do think we'll probably see a larger move happening tomorrow morning, though. Everybody's going to be watching the PPI, but I will say PPI is not nearly as important as CPI, right? So unless it's incredibly bad, we should still go higher tomorrow off the news. Once we're kind of like, whew, that's over with, thank God. Because the SPY is all at all-time highs, Nasdaq's at all-time highs, Russell is booming up almost 2% today, gold is higher, and the dollar's going lower. Yeah, that's a recipe for success right there. That's definitely a recipe for success. Let me see, actually. Let me type this in here so you guys know. And there you go. Pangu. All right, thanks, Puma. Hold on a second here. When asking for fundamental analysis or and provide the ticker. There you go. I'll have that be posted for you guys from now on. That way I don't have to like keep on saying it, because I'm sure I used to have it, but I just forgot. And hey Riz, happy to see you, my man. So let's go over here to Pangu very fast, and yours is more technical based here, because they are kind of being sold everywhere and people are talking about it quite a bit. When you look at this chart, this thing is still as high as it was back over in December of 2024. It's a newer token, of course, but it's still kind of close to all-time highs, which is a very, very good thing, I would say. Now, because of that, you've had a little bit of resistance and it hasn't been able to break out above that. That's perfectly fine. But what you're seeing is a nice consolidation right here. A real nice consolidation. So at this point, this is basically your stop loss. If this thing really starts to plummet below that, you're selling. But in the short term, because Bitcoin's pretty bullish here, you can anticipate something of a larger move here. The curious part is Bitcoin is actually up this week. A lot of stuff is up this week. Just go over here. Last 7 days, see all that green right there? All that green, all that green, all that green, all that beautiful green. When you go to Pangu, it's actually not bullish this week, which is pretty interesting. So as long as it keeps up, that's fine. But I think this is probably an easy cut case of Fibonacci levels here. Well, not easy cut, I guess you would say. A little bit of resistance, some resistance. Yeah, I'd probably have a surge up here towards 0.066 cents. Resistance, 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 resistance. This is pretty accurate so far, really accurate so far. So I'd probably say your next level of resistance is up here towards 0.067 or 0.066194. That'd be a return of about how much here if you were to buy today? 78%. That's not bad because that means that 78% will probably happen over the next 2 months. So 2 months of waiting for 78% potential profit. I think that's good. Caveat being, I would probably not wait to sell up here. I'd probably sell a little bit lower than that just to make sure I'm able to lock in like a 40% sell or 40% scale out, 50% scale out. And then from there, you can kind of let the rest of it run. And then if it decides to come back down and it falls from grace, at least you would have bought it down here, so you're still fine. I think this is a decent thing to buy. The fact that it's still so high when a lot of other stuff is not close to all-time highs, I think matters. This is a newer token, which means it doesn't have a nasty chart that shows it going down for a long period of time. And then also, if you go over here, well, I just saw it. Let me just go down here. There you go. Right? Has a respectable enough market cap where it's not going to be too difficult to get it boosted up, right? So I just showed you that this thing, in order to get to that level, would go up around 74%. It's not incredibly hard to go from like 2 billion to 4 billion. 20 billion to 40 billion, yeah, that's a little bit more difficult. But 2 billion to 4 billion, I think that's definitely possible for this token. And when you go to the website, it's easy for people to understand. They're not creating some crazy concept of technology, which I focus more on for the long-term tokens. This one's pretty simple. Pretty darn simple right here. All right. So I think, yeah, you can see a lot of retailers hopping into it. Plus, it's been performing very well. When you see something that's performing well, people obviously want to get into it. And on top of that, I mean, take out the Fibonacci's. This is a basic pattern that everybody is taught. With the momentum being as good as it is right now, I mean, again, it's kind of new, so we don't have so much data. You're still pretty happy with it. This is the 12-day. This is the daily chart, right? Consolidation, consolidation. Give it even just a few days here. This thing should have a rocket ship moment. Yeah, this thing should go up to like 0.042 here pretty soon, which if you bought today, that'd be up around 12%. That's not a bad move here. I'd probably say 2.6% days overall, but again, that's pretty solid move right there. Let's go right here. 15 on Bitcoin. Let's see if it can keep on going to all-time highs. And hey, Perry, let me know what you want me to do with the tower. Trump will say something stupid and send us back to the red. Man, I really hope not. Right now, Trump is doing some stuff that is making people in DC upset, like sending the National Guard in to make sure crime is safe and stuff like that, which I don't think is a bad thing, I guess, because, you know, last time I was in DC, I didn't feel safe at all. My God, that was a bad spot. Maybe it's changed. It's been years since I've been to DC because it was that bad of an experience for me. But I do think it needs to be fixed up. My issue, yeah, is definitely, I hope there's no crazy tariff announcement or anything like that. That would just wreck the market right now, and we don't need that at all. We definitely do not need that. But we really haven't heard much of Trump. Trump is more focused on interest rates right now than anything else, and everybody can see the economy is slowing, and I wonder if he will moderate a bit from his policies because he knows that the job market is so... I don't want to say sketchy, but, you know, it's so insecure, and everyone's like, oh, is this real? Is this not? What's happening, right? And then on top of that, you know, I believe trust in institutions is still going down, and that's not necessarily Trump's fault. It's the fault of the institutions are doing bad. 150,000 plus jobs disappearing. That is insane. Absolutely insane. You know, I was talking to some people over the last week, and, you know, I have some money. But I'm not 100 millionaire plus type of money, right? And so I have some friends that have that type of money. They're really, really awesome guys. They're just really chill and they're really down to earth, right? All of them said like they didn't trust the data coming out of the government right now, right? Which is sketchy because these people are the not like massive titans of industry like a Bill Gates, but they're some of the wealthier people in Washington State. which is very surprising to me. And most of them are conservative and Republican like myself, right? I support Trump to a degree, but man, just don't mess with my money. That's all I really care about here, right? "90-day extension with China, we are good." Hey, hopefully it keeps on going fine. And hey, Nate, happy to see you, my man. "I'm at 0.01, so I'm hoping we got a winner. So far, so good." Oh, yeah, you're fine. "September will explode cut rate." I hope so. My birthday's in September. I really want a good rate cut. I want everything to be happening during my birthday. I want to see Bitcoin at 500,000. "Any tips for getting more subs?" Just be yourself and know what you want. I mean, okay, hold on a second here. Let me do this. There we go. I'm gonna go full screen for this because Loki wants another treat and he's like, "Excuse me." No. Yeah. He listens to, oh, bad. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Good boy. Okay, so as far, oh, hold on. Bitcoin's about to hit all-time highs. Bloop, 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 bloop. Now, as far as getting subscribers, it's basically just posting a lot and making good content. There are different ways to do it. I would say if you really want to be a YouTuber that makes it big and you're even larger than me, because I've never really had the drive, and I'm getting it now, but I've never had the major drive of becoming like a famous influencer because I make money trading crypto and investing. So that's always been like my day job, even though I might only spend like 4 hours a day on it or 2 hours a day, even sometimes no hours a day. It's my thing. I would say you should really, and I mean really, learn how to edit. Editing is the key to YouTube, which is why I haven't really become a massive YouTuber. I'm well known in the crypto influencer community. I know George, I know Benjamin Cohen, I know Digital Asset News, Shibtoshi I've met a few times, he's really chill. Tom Crown, you know, I know all of George, CryptoRS, know him. I know his CMO, Josh. I know it all, right? I know them. We party, we chill. Well, during events, because otherwise, you know, I'm by myself out here in Washington because nobody lives in Washington State. Nobody lives in Seattle related to cryptocurrency. It's all AI nowadays, right? But I will say this. Let's go to maybe the 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart first. Then 1 minute chart to move it over even more. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Another batch of all-time highs. There we go. Uh-oh, getting knocked down a little bit here. Interesting. A little bit of liquidity grab. Okay. So I would say editing is the best thing that you can do. I am not good at it because I have ADHD and it really sucks. But if you know how to edit, you can see the best channels out there. They edit very well. There are certain channels that don't edit, but they're very good personality. They've been doing videos for years and years, and they really dive into controversial topics. So finance is a large niche, but it's not a massive niche, right? So you can get like hundreds of thousands of views, sometimes even millions of views, but that's a rare type of stuff. The way you get into the more general finance is like how to save for retirement, because everybody wants to know how to save to retirement. But if you say the top 5 AI tokens for March of 2020 or 5 or whatever, it's going to be a much smaller pool of people that actually care about AI stocks, that want to buy them, that even manage their own portfolio. So of course you may only get like a few thousand to 50,000 to a couple $100,000 views, right? Usually what the best YouTubers do is they scare you kind of, or make you like, oh, I have to do this, which is more about YouTube, like people like the psychology. So if I go over here to somebody that I follow, like a Andrew Jick, right? Insider trading, right? Recession, scary words, right? Because you got Pelosi. People don't like Pelosi because she does insider trading, or so we believe, right? You see that right there? Why BlackRock, or why XP could 10x, right? XRP is not going to 10x anytime soon, but he still says it. Who really owns the America? It's not who you think. And there's a Jewish flag or Israel flag behind that. Freaking insane. But it works to get people to do it. And if you just like look at his video for a few seconds, right? There's editing. Okay, I can't show like this, but there's a lot of editing. Maybe I can show. I do some work with virtual bacon, so I doubt he's gonna care if I show one of his videos. So he put out a video 2 weeks ago, right? 22 minutes long, right? This is a very simple way of doing it while going over news, right? And he'll break it down by going straight through it for a little bit. These are usually okay, but he has a massive funnel to bring other people in besides the algorithm. So he's big on Twitter and stuff like that. On the other hand, another person I follow is, what's his name? Benjamin Cohen, there's one. Same type of way. Very boring and data driven, but he gets lots of views off of it. You have to really know your stuff if you're gonna do that, and you have to be able to talk for like 20 minutes straight. I go off on tangents like crazy. I am not good at the long form talking, which is why when I do my videos, they're like 5 minutes long, because I don't have everything set up past 5 minutes because I know I'm gonna go on a tangent. If I did do that, I think it'd be fine, but I'll have to work on it as well because I want to do a mix of that and the highly edited. But right now, a highly edited video has to take about 10 minutes of my time to record, and then maybe like 5 hours of editing, right? It's crazy. The best way is to just learn all your stuff and do this. But Benjamin Cohen has his own software that makes him unique. And if you go over to Virtual Bacon, he's been building up his channel for a long time, but I guess it just depends. It really just depends. You know, because he has an editor that does all of his stuff as well. But I would say overall editing is probably the key here. Probably the key, I would say. And hey, Productimity. Hey, how you doing, my man? Oh, and hey, Tradefly. What's up, brother? Hope all is well. Things are doing pretty well right now. I'm hoping Bitcoin freaking breaks out to all-time highs, but it looks like we're gonna have a minor breakdown here and consolidate for a second, which is fine. But you know, I'm all about fast, easy money, and I'm glad that Bitcoin's just been going higher, right? How did I build my YouTube channel? I was a streamer before anything. I was streaming back in 2020, I believe, 2020, 2021. Back when I first got to YouTube, my first thing that I ever made content on was the Chaz riots in downtown Seattle. So I took my gimbal and my phone and I went out to the riots and I was recording everything, and I was like a little journalist guy, and I was getting lots of donations for doing that, and it was kind of a half money, but really it was just me being able to like pay for my hobbies and stuff. And also I needed to lose weight, so walking downtown Seattle with all these freaking hills is a very good way to do that. And so I would just, you know, I didn't get many views, but I did that for a little bit. I got like 5,000 subscribers off of that. Obviously it died down. Then I moved over to crypto when COVID came into place. And then when COVID came in, I got lucky and bought some Dogecoin, and then it just kind of went crazy, and then I became one of the larger Dogecoin streamers, and I had a 24/7 Dogecoin stream. I have that stream on my second channel now, but yeah, it's very, very nice. I enjoy it a lot. But it's just a lot of grit and grinding. It's very hard to become a YouTuber these days, I think. You know, there's been the mega people that have like gone away, like, you know, BitBoy Crypto. Jesus, what happened to BitBoy Crypto now that I'm thinking about it? Okay, hold on. Is it glitching out, or I'm glitching out? Let's see. BitBoy Crypto X. Because I remember he was having AI videos for a minute here. Yeah, he hasn't posted in 2 months. 2 months. I don't know if he's still in jail or what. You can see how they use the same photo every single time, and they've been just trying to put out videos to make him money. Let me try this very fast. Let me go over to this. Cut that. Go over here. New incognito mode. I will see if he has even ads on his channel right now, because then he could still be earning money from this. Yeah, still has ads on his channel. So then I would go over here to his thing at BitBoy X, and I would go over here to Social Blade, and I want to see how many views he's getting right now. So he's lost 1,000 subscribers in the last 30 days. He has 61,000 views for the last 30 days, and his monthly estimated earnings are between $15 to $246. let's say because he has all videos, he's probably ranking in around $5 RPM, maybe less, but let's just say $5. So that's 5 times 61. That's basically what the guy is earning here. So like a few $100 a month, that's not really a lot. But again, I only make a few $100 off my YouTube channel, right? I've been pretty transparent about that. Although I was demonetized for most of the year, so a little bit different there. Oh, Bitcoin's chugging back up again, which is nice. Yeah, it's just a difficult time to become an influencer in crypto. You really have to edit, and I stress the editing component. It's so imperative, and that's where I'm learning how to do it. It fucking sucks, let me tell you. My brain hurts every time I try to edit, and I mean, like, it actually just hurts where I have to stop. So, you know, I'm taking it slowly, but what I'm doing as my way of doing it is, so every few days I'm going to come out with a new video that's like top 5 crypto, top 5 stocks, top 5 options, whatever, top 5 something, top 5 dividend plays, right? And as I do that, I'm going to build out a kind of a timeline where I have these little things on the video, like little animations and stuff, and I'll just keep on adding more and more and more until it's a fully done video, all flushed out and nice, where, you know, when I first talk, there's a zoom in cut in my face, it goes whoosh, you know, hey, boom, things like that. And I'm going to see how that works out. I'm not going to have this view anymore when I do my videos and stuff like that, or the one with like just my head in the box. It'll just be a full screen view of my head, and I'll just go zooming into whatever topic I'm talking about. There'll be B-rolls and stuff like that, but I kind of have to add them in there and have a template set up where I know the video will get a higher average view duration. One of the things that, and again, I'm sorry to go off of crypto topics here, but this is the beauty of me being my own boss. So like you see a video like this one right here. This one was up the virus, not even crypto related, but it got some views and it got me subscribers and it got me like $7. A horrible RPM, but that's fine, and it's still getting views right now. Let me go over here so you guys can see everything. All right, and people search for this, which is fine. So because I had a horrible AVD, which is people only watched for about 1.5 minutes out of the 4 minutes, right? You can see it was like kind of a below average down here, but that was enough. If I go over to some of my last videos, this one right here from yesterday, this one didn't get any notifications sent out, so I lost a subscriber. I got like 48 cents off of it, and it's below my average right now. Again, because there's no notifications. Nobody got notified of this. But when you go, oh, there's no audience retention. Let me go over here. About 3.5 minute video. People only watched about 2 minutes of it. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So in order for a video to do very, very well, this is why I used to make tutorials back in the day, right? Because I know how to do them, but these are the ones where I can talk for a long time and I'm okay. This one is 300,000 views, right? Maybe like $2,500 off of this over 3 years. There you go. People watched 7 minutes of this out of 33. So overall, people were watching for 7 minutes, which means YouTube will push it out if they watch for 7 minutes, which is great. This one was only 1 minute long, but it has 122,000, and that's because everybody searches for this. It doesn't become viral, right? It just becomes searchable. See how the graph is very high? People watch for about 1 minute of that minute 18, which is like 72%, which is very, very good. So like, plus if you just type this in, how to add moving averages to TradingView, usually my video pops up first, not even just on YouTube, but Google as well. Like how to add moving averages to trading. Right there it is right here. Now the only video that's above mine is the actual video from TradingView, right? Mine is right there. You go over to videos, right? Mine's still number second here, again behind TradingView, which I think overall is pretty darn good, right? So we'll see how that works out, and then, you know, TradingViews is after me and stuff like that. So maybe I'll do more tutorials down the road, but I think what I'm going to do, because I want to have this channel be more highly edited going forward, my secondary channel that I got, switch account to Michael Whitman Investing, this is where I think I have to, and this one is not monetized, 92 subscribers over the last 28 days, 12,000 watch hours, 59,000 views, right? Getting a steady amount of views basically from the live stream. So what I plan to do here is every day come up with a technical analysis video on this, and then I'll make top 5 videos for this, but instead of being like top 5 crypto, it'll be the top 5 crypto exchanges you can do. So more niche into crypto, but I think it'll work out very well, and I really can dive into technicals on this and do like 20-30 minute videos where it doesn't matter if I'm stuttering and whatnot because it's just natural. Whereas if you're doing a highly edited video, you can't stutter or it really messes up the whole flow of the video, which is interesting. Like even Benjamin Cohen, he'll be like a little bit, you know, like and take a pause every now and again, which is totally natural, nothing bad about it. But for me with my ADHD, it seems freaking horrible. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Hold on. Back up, back up, back up, back up. All right, see, I got switch permission. Yeah. I knew that was gonna happen. There we go. There we go. I don't want anything to happen to the live stream and whatnot. There we go. All right. How high do I think Dogecoin will go this time? I'm guessing like $1.10 if we're lucky. Maybe a little bit higher than that, but I'm looking to start selling around 60 cents for Dogecoin. That thing has been killing me because when it goes up, but when it goes down, it freaking goes down hard. Oh, and hey, Jamrock, happy to see you. I know, I was out of commission for a minute here. And hey, Productivity, I know you're hitting the gym for a bit. Still doing that? Yes, but not as much. Ever since I've been starting fasting and doing that a little bit more, I have mostly been staying at home and doing my bike and then just light weights. So basically, I'll sit on my bike and I'll grab like the 25-pound weights for each hand, and I'll just do some bicep curls, you know? Well, usually I do one at a time, honestly, but I don't have that little thing that does like that with the bar. Squiggly bar, whatever it is. But yeah, it's working out. I don't really tell you guys my weight and stuff like that, but like back in January, I was about like 450 pounds. Right now I'm like at 399 as of this morning. So I'm losing weight, and honestly, like 30 to 35 of those 50 pounds were lost over the last 2 months. So once I kind of like locked into fasting and then eating right and stuff like that, like staying into ketosis when I'm not fasting, it's been working out fantastic. The only thing for me is I have to take gummies for my vitamins and stuff like that. I have LMT powders. I have liquid IV powders for electrolytes. I drink ginger and lemon tea to kind of help me with some stuff and just getting some flavored beverages in my system. I drink a shit ton of regular water every day. So it's working. It's working great, but it's like, it's hard to keep your body in balance, right? Especially if you're working out, you sweat more, which means you got to take a little bit more liquid IV or LMT and stuff like that. But it's working. I'm very happy it's working. More energy, all that type of stuff. You guys don't hear me as much as you did. You may still hear me do it a little bit, but not as much as back in the day, right? And definitely back to monetization. You got wrecked listening to BitBoy and found you. Hey, I appreciate that a lot. I was definitely a larger YouTuber back in the day, but most YouTubers are down as far as crypto compared to where they were back in the day. It's crazy. And hey, effing dollars, just joining you asking the Matrix oscillator. If so, what do you think about it? Which oscillator? From what brand? I work with a few of them. I work with Luxago, Flux Charts. I work with Sonar Lab, right? So I work with quite a few that have different ones, even Market Cipher, right? Let me know which one I can help you out. They all have different oscillators. They're all really good oscillators. They're usually going to be a mix of a whole bunch of momentum indicators all in one, which I think is actually a pretty good thing for most people, because if you just look at that, it's kind of an easier way of what I show you guys when it comes to the MACD, stochastic with customized settings, and then you're going over to the RSI. Luxago? Oh yeah, that one's solid here. Let me just pull it up for you on this blank chart here. Let's get rid of the flux price action. Let's go over here. So if you go to like invite only, these are all the free ones. Or these are all the paid ones that I have access to. Everything from Market Cipher to Chart Prime. Oh, that was the other one, Chart Prime. And you said Flux, there's Lux Algo, Oscillator Matrix. There we go. For this one, let's collapse this. Collapse. All right. Now, generally speaking, right, I like it to buy below this halfway line right here, right? I don't want to buy anything that's above this. Sometimes it works out like right here, right? You get a buy signal right there and it can continue to go higher. When I'm looking to load up for longer term plays, I'm usually looking for this type of stuff, right? Looking for a green signal below the line. Back over here, you had a few of them, right? Right here, right here, right here. But if you load it up during that time within the larger trend, you're perfectly fine, right? I want to buy those lows so I can wait a little bit of time. This is more of a long-term swing trading perspective because I'm on the weekly chart. You're fine, right? That's a very easy way to make money if you have the time to wait for that, okay? Now, a couple things that I typically do here for the settings. I will typically just make the lines thick across the board. I haven't done that with this one because I just re-added it, but I have all the lines be thicker because my eyesight is not that good. And like I say with most of you guys, I'm not really looking at this from 100% usually. I'm usually looking at it from a much smaller perspective because I have like 5 or 6 charts on my screen at the same time. Usually be like, 6 or 8 over on this one, 6 on this one, and I'm playing video games on this one. So it's different. Actually, it's video games on this one, 6, and then like 8 to 10 over here normally. All right, but forget about that for a second. When you go over to the daily chart, again, nice little signal below. You use that green little dot right there afterwards. It doesn't really work as well. You buy the dip down here, green signal right. What is that? Saturday? Yeah, right there. You're good to go. This one right here, you're not good to go. January 2nd, not good to go, right? So you got to be careful. But if you just look at the last few ones that you bought, right, you're still good. You're still good on that one. And you're still good on that one. The profits from those definitely offset any losses that you have from here, because if you're buying here, your stop loss is there. And again, there's buying opportunities right here if you want to take them, buying opportunities right there if you want to take them. But when I look at this, I'm also looking at technicals and other stuff. Right now, I'm just using this as an example. This one right here, that one worked out. This one didn't. This one's more interesting though, because you see the money flows leaving here. It's not necessarily a good opportunity, and that kind of always reminds me the MACD is bearish during this time period, so you want to be a little bit more careful, which means you probably won't even take this buying opportunity right here. Even though it does work out, you might wait for the money order to go through, so you might buy right here on that breakout and see if it goes higher. Even go to the last 15-minute chart here very fast. This is where it gets a little bit more difficult here. And you can see how it starts to add some divergences and stuff over here versus the reds and stuff like that. But I think it works fine. They have a really good tutorial that talks about this one. And if you have Luxottica, you can go into the back end and there's lots of tutorials in there that kind of explain every little thing. What's an example here? Well, for this one, maybe I can just do a cheat code. Yeah, there we go. All right, read all of this. All right. And it gives you examples on how to use it, and it'll focus on things, which I really do enjoy. Now, of course, if you paid for it, you get access to all this. If you didn't pay for it, you're not. But it's a very useful tool. So I would say definitely research it, then practice it. So before you start spending, like trading with money here, right? What I would do is I would just say, hey, go to your favorite exchange, whatever exchange you currently have an account in, whether it's Weeks or whatever. Right, go to your futures and go to demo trading, and then from there, practice and see how it works with every strategy. So after you do the research on that one, exit this very fast. There we go. So after you do the research and you kind of determine a few different ways you want to test it out, write it down or type it out, different strategies you're going to use, and then practice each of them during your free time, and then see which one gives you the best percentage. And if any of those are giving you a 75 and above, and maybe even just 70% accuracy, then you could start putting some money in there. But just understand that you have to keep some of the things, some of your strategies neutral. And by that, I mean always have the same stop loss and all the trades and stuff like that, just to make it a little bit easier to understand. And if you feel like you need to tweak it, then you can rechange it, retest it, and then see how that data comes in as well. Takes a little bit of time, but they're definitely worth it. I like to buy the bigger dips, and I primarily use it for swing trading and not day trading. Day trading can work out for it, but I use it in totality with other stuff. Maybe not totality, but I use it with other stuff. Which I think is very important to me, specifically Fibonacci's and things like that. It doesn't need a MACD or stochastic, so it's kind of all built in there. But it can be very useful, especially when it starts to show you divergences and things like that. But I find it just like all indicators, it's a little bit less accurate as you go down the time frames, right? For the example, maybe I can open this up one more time. Oscillator matrix. Right, this is the 1 second chart. It just gave you a buy signal, not stopped out yet. Now you're stopped out, right? Again, it's not the biggest thing because it's a 1 second chart, you know? It's not like you lost any money off of that thing. But, you know, again, it just becomes a little bit more unreliable, which is fine, but I'm just like, meh. You could even see the green versus the red, you know? That can work out a little bit better, you know? Especially if you like buy over here, there's some profit in it. But yeah. I prefer swing trading. And again, I am more accurate at swing trading than I am at day trading, right? I do day trade, but it's a very specific type of thing that I do when I day trade. And it's when all this, like, if I'm day trading long, it's because I already have a swing trade long already, and I'm just trying to add a little bit extra money to my pocket doing so, right? And hey, Productivity, have a good rest of your night, my man. And hey, MB, is that the only indicator you use for swing trading? No, I use a bunch of different stuff. I use MACD, stochastics, RSIs. Sometimes I use GAN boxes. I love Fibonacci levels. I love Fibonacci extensions. There's a bunch of stuff I use. And most of it comes to patterns, and that's usually my bread and butter. I use moving averages to a certain degree, order blocks, and all that type of stuff. Yeah, there's about like 20 different things, but most of the stuff you can do in your head after a while, right? You know, you can see the clear levels of resistance in your head. You don't need a line for that. Maybe you need the line for the Fibonacci's, right? You need to have the Fibonacci's on there. But for most things, like a pattern, you can see your consolidation. You can see you having higher lows in the bottom and a flat top, right? You can see all that without drawing the lines. It's just that I draw the lines for you guys to make it nice and easy. Like, you zoom out for a second. You can see that line where if Bitcoin breaks down below that, we're going to have to consolidate for a few minutes, right? You can see that line. It's not like a terrible thing, but you can just obviously see where it is. You can see the clear levels of support without these order blocks, the trough moments, right? This is a short-term trough here, which I don't like that it's there, but I prefer to have it there. But you can see the troughs, right? And these are more important troughs, if you will. But still, that's kind of how I see everything right now. All-time highs. What I plan on doing, I think tomorrow, I don't know how this is going to work, but because a lot of you guys have been commenting a lot more than normal, I think I'm going to try to introduce a 3-hour stream tomorrow, or 2-hour stream tomorrow, and just chat with you guys and hang for a while. I think that'd be a good way to do it. Because when you guys are chatting with me and I'm chatting with you guys, I flow so much better and time just freaking passes by, especially when I'm answering a question for you. I love that I can go in depth and stuff like that. Makes my freaking day. And hey, Sal, happy to see you, my man. Yeah, both MCB and Luxalgo Matrix. I have noticed Luxalgo Matrix reacts faster, but does not necessarily mean it's better in my experience. More like how to interpret these oscillators. What's your favorite? Overall, by MF, do you mean Market Cipher? Do you mean MC? I'm looking at my keyboard here to double check. If it's between Market Cipher and Luxalgo, I would say Luxalgo is cheaper, I believe. I'd probably say Market Cipher because it's more aesthetic. It like just looks better, and it doesn't like get as choppy. One of the reasons when I'm giving you guys my thoughts on the market and all that type of stuff, auto. One of the reasons that I have my custom settings on my stochastic, right? Like the normal one is this is a stochastic right here. Actually, let's just open up a new layout so I don't have to reset everything. A test right here. Here's a test 1T. Auto. Sorry, this is a pet peeve of mine. Auto. There we go. Okay. And then let's just go to this one here. Spread this out. And this actually has Luxalgo on it. It does, yeah. And let's hit the stochastic very fast. Let's hit this twice. And let's go over here and let's change these to thick lines. Thick lines. All right. This is your basic stochastic right here. and this is my stochastic, the one I use. Okay, so right now everything's the same because they have the same numbers. You go over here to inputs though, and instead of 14, 1, and 3, I do 21, 5, and 5. And what that does is it kind of smooths out the line, right? So while this one had a little bit of a bullish crossover, a little bit of a crossover right there, this didn't have it. So by the time it tells you to buy, there's both buying signals right here. They're both oversold. They're both having a crossover to the upside. But this one just has a little bit more of a meaningful moment to me, right? Because both of these happened, I think, well, this one happened right there because we have to wait for the next candle to close, basically. That one happened at 5:01, which is basically this candle. And this one happened a little bit earlier. Let's say around 4:59, like 2 minutes earlier, right? This is a 1 minute chart, but you can see how, you know, you could have bought right there or right there. And if you're scalping, you know, it might not have worked out to your favor. Go over here to the 5 minute chart. The heck? Oh, there we go. Right. Still gives you a little bit of a bearish move right there, right? A little bit of bearish moves right there, right there. When you have the crossover right here, right? This one's a little bit more sooner, but I don't like the choppiness. I don't like all the false signals that you get in between, right? So there's ups and downs to it. So I buy maybe a little bit later, right? Sure. But I still end up making some money off of it. Whereas if I buy over here, sure, I'm making more money. But what if I buy right here and I have my stop loss set to maybe this or this? I get stopped out, right? So it's just a different type of thing for me and how I use my my oscillators. I'm a momentum trader, which means I need to use them. Oh, and Bitcoin's going higher again. That's nice to see. Yeah, all right. All-time highs again, blasting off. We could hit 124,000 bucks tonight. And hey, OP May Productions, happy to see you. Sup, Biddy, and looking good. Thank you. I need to go outside and get myself a tan here. I think tonight, I haven't been out since Sunday. I have not gone out drinking, smoking cigars, nothing. I think I'm going to go out tonight and enjoy myself a little bit because I've earned it. Or because I want to, right? I think I'm going to go to a place and, oh, hello there, hello. Loki's come back for another treat. This is your second to third to last treat. Hello. Oh, you gotta have pets first. See, he's pouting. So offended. Yeah. All right. Let's go back to Bitcoin here because we are breaking out, which is definitely a good thing to see right here. I'm trying to get better at swing trading and looking for some good indicators. Search Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo because they have a free version right there. I'm going to make a few more of these on my second channel here pretty soon. Trust me. This takes me some time to do all this. Just type in Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo. Now, my video is longer than the Lux Algo one and Tom Crown's one, but it's right here. Click on it. It's a half an hour long. It teaches you everything you need to know and how I personally swing trade. And then I want you to test it out in your free time and see how you like it. Because it's definitely more of a layered type of trade, but it can be very profitable once you kind of understand the basics of patterns versus Fibonacci levels versus support and resistance and, market flow, all that type of stuff, money flow, excuse me, and volume, all that type of stuff you can kind of add on to what I just teach you there. And it's fantastic. No 124? I think we can definitely hit 124,000. 124,000 is basically right up here, right? Like, let me just push this up and just type in coordinates. 124,000. That's $124,000. I think we can do so. We just started off a new day too, so we're usually going to have a wick either way. So we should find a way to go a little bit higher. Thanks for streaming, Mike. These are exciting but nervous times, and it's always good to hear your thoughts. Oh yeah, no worries, guys. I mean, this is what, remember, guys, when Bitcoin was going bullish a couple, well, it was kind of flat a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, we saw that the weekly MACD had turned up, so we started to buy some assets. And sometimes we took a little bit longer, right? Because we saw we were close to all-time highs. Usually we dipped because of that, and tariffs slowed everything down this year. This is why we put together these portfolios. So I could show you, let's just buy some random stuff. Some of it was pure crap, but it didn't matter. Let's just buy some stuff, right? And let's keep track of it. So this is all since we bought it, right? We bought it down here. We had about like $1,008 in the market, right? This was June 19th is when we bought it. That's a couple months ago. What? 2 months ago, right? And we went from that $1,000 all the way down to 925. We rallied all the way up here to 1250. Then we came all the way back down to 1,138. And now all of a sudden we're hitting new portfolio highs right now, right? After all that stuff. And meanwhile, while Bitcoin, let me go to maybe the 4-hour chart, no, daily chart. That was June 16th, right? That was over here. That was before the dip even happened. That's why we said we had the drop, right? I just bought because I was like, we're going to be holding it for a while. Bought, and now we're doing freaking fantastic. We had to deal with it, right? There's no stop losses because it's a longer term trade here, but boom, we did fine. Let's go back to the 5-minute chart because I want to see how this thing goes. This is looking very juicy right now. There we are. All right. But the fart coin one, that's just one token, right? That's only up 1% because we didn't really diversify. We just had a 1. And the high risk one is up 14% right now, which is less than the 32% for the safe portfolio that had Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of anchoring it down. This one had Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP having the most money in it to kind of anchor it, so we wouldn't lose a bunch of money. Whereas this one doesn't have any anchor, so it goes up a lot and it goes down a lot. And you can see since we bought it at what? When did we average in here? Because I bought it over a few days period of time. So we really got into it July 4th, a little bit later than the group portfolio safe one, right? And it ran all the way up here to $890. And now we went all the way back down to $670, which was a loss. We were down and now back to being profitable at not the same rate here. Altcoin season is when I think this type of stuff overtakes the portfolio safe, right? And my main portfolio that has a bunch of stuff, this has been held since 2022, and Bitcoin is the leader of this thing, right? Bitcoin's making me money, Solana made me more money than I thought, and Dogecoin's made me some money, but that's longer term than just 2022. And then Ethereum's made me a little bit of money here, but Matic has lost me some, which is interesting there. I was hopefully Matic, such a letdown. That's okay. And hey, Walter, thanks for becoming a member again. I really do appreciate it. I know you remember the past, so I appreciate that quite a bit. And hey, CT, happy to see you. Hopefully work is doing well. Hopefully the new move has been doing well for you as well. Google says I'm worth $3 million. I doubt that I'm worth $3 million. $3 million. I don't really know the total value of my assets. Like, I have over $10,000 worth of cigars, but I think that's just a bad habit. Yeah, I got a bad habit for cigars. Again, the funny thing is I can stop smoking whenever I want to, and I do stop smoking for periods of time, but I love smoking them. I love smoking them. Coinbase just announced that they are going to add support for basically all base chain tokens on their main app. I think the base chain is going to go pop off really soon, though. Oh, that'd be very nice right there. Again, another bullish piece of news right there. Hope I was able to get that. So as soon as I finished the stream, they started to go away because I wasn't talking. When I talk for long periods of time and I've been drinking up all this water like I was today and yesterday, all of a sudden I just get the hiccups, which is why I'm drinking some ginger tea today to kind of help minimize that if it's possible. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't know I fucked up and made that. Wait, why is it so offset though? It's supposed to be like that, but I don't know why it's not. Whatever, it's fine. There we go. 5-minute chart still doing good. That's all we care about here. Because remember, it's what, Wednesday? I haven't eaten since Sunday afternoon. So I've been kind of like, I normally hit up this spot called Matador on Tuesdays in Tacoma. They have one I think in Seattle, some of that too. But they have something called Top Shelf Tuesday, where all of their tequila is over $16 or half off, like 50% off. So if I get a $250 shot, or $200 shot, it's only got $100. I don't think they have a $250 shot, right? And we're closing at 124,000 bucks here. But I didn't even go this week because I'm so dedicated to this freaking fast. And they have the best happy hour prices for food you ever did see. Even the salads are cheap. Like, you get a freaking massive salad for like $6. $6. A point is going to come where I just go eat there every happy hour all month. And it's basically going to be like $6 for food, $11 for a shot, and what's that, $18, $17, $23 after tip, like a $5 tip. because the bartender is really chill. I've given that bartender up to like $100 in tips before, though. He's a really chill guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there every day, but I might eat there every now and again because I don't like making salads. And the worst thing about semi-fasting, or like I forget what it's called. It's not semi-fasting, but it's like, you know, fasting every now and again. When you're fasting, if you have any food like spinach in your fridge, it spoils fast, very, very fast. Oh, we're so close to 124,000. Oh my God, we're so close. Oh, we're so close. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Beautiful. I get the hiccups when I eat something spicy. Honestly, I get the hiccups. Spicy things help my hiccups, I think. But I love spicy food. I grew up on spicy food. My mom used to make these really good spicy tamales. So we didn't have much money growing up when I was a kid. It was really, really bad. We were a little destitute. But one of the things that we could do is we would go to the store and buy a couple chickens. And then we would bake those chickens with a bunch of herbs and stuff like that. And then what we, oh, come on now. Yeah. And then what we would do is make homemade tamales all day. Then we would spend the weekend selling them at the soccer games around the neighborhood. And we made a killing off of it, or enough to survive, which was really, really good. That was a good thing to do. And I enjoyed that a lot. Kind of taught me like from a young age how to a little bit of work ethic, right? Although pulling freshly baked chicken apart with bare hands, you need to have some calluses. And as a kid, I did not have any calluses on my hands, so it burned. Anytime chicken and pork put in the oven, oh God, like it shreds like oh, it's beautiful. But man, it doesn't burn. Does it burn? Does it burn? Does it burn? And hey, Michael, happy to see you, my man. Right now, we're getting rejected by 124,000 bucks, it looks like. We'll see if we can climb back up a little bit later. Shorts are just using this as an opportunity to try to enter into some new positions. I think over the next few weeks, we can probably try to hit up closer to 130,000. One of the things that we can look at here, and I can back up very fast before I start looking at Ethereum, right? Is you remember that we had that Fibonacci level that we've been using for the long term, right? And that one is this right here. We'll just go to the magnet. Let me just go to the monthly chart, make it easier for myself to find the blows. Right, where it's resistance, resistance. Oh, let me go to the weekly chart. Resistance, 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 no resistance here, and a resistance up here, right? Why does this feel off? Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. This is Bitcoin USTD, Bitcoin to Tether. This is Bitcoin to USD, so it's a little bit off on this one, which is confusing. But if you look at it, this one was actually pretty accurate for this right here, right? With this last little bit of resistance we were seeing up here. Whereas this one, wait a second. No, this is so off. Is it because this is, there we go. Okay. That's what's going on. Okay, sorry. One has fibs, one doesn't. That's so confusing to me. All right. Resistance, 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 okay, there we go. Sorry. Killing my head for a second. And we know the next level of resistance is really up here towards $175,000. Well, the Fibonacci we were using for this last level of resistance, which we're currently breaking at above right now, was this over here. Right? Rejected, and now we're going higher. This next one is $138,000. I think we can hit up to that level if we have a surge or something like that, but I think it's going to be more of a gradual climb here. I don't think it's going to be just like a rocket ship, unfortunately for us, right? I think the rocket ship happens post rate cuts, but we can definitely keep on cruising higher and higher here, which overall I think will be very good for us. I'm just not sure, and this is me not being sure, right, if we're going to just boom to the heavens right away or gradually climb. And because of how we've been doing things here, I think we're more likely to gradually climb something like this, right? Gradually climb over a period like a couple months, rather than just have a parabolic boom that lasts 3 weeks. All right. This took what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks to kind of peak. This thing, but look at those candle sizes. Just look at the candle sizes. It's completely different, right? Somewhat similar right there and there, but overall just big jolt. Because again, we were breaking out of a large Fibonacci. When we break above $176,000, oh my God, we'll have to see what happens there. Now, Wilder, as far as Bitcoin's concerned here, not Bitcoin, excuse me, Ethereum is concerned here, we were just talking about this Fibonacci level a little bit ago, and as far as Ethereum is breaking out, we're close to all-time highs, which is very, like, not a reason to be buying this right now, but just kind of be holding what you have and maybe scaling out. If you bought anything over the last few years, this is an opportunity moment for scaling out here. Small 10, 15%, nothing really crazy as far as 20 and above. But the next level of resistance is actually around $6,500, and I think that's definitely possible. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the month you see Ethereum break above $5,000 and probably try to start shooting up towards $5,500. After that, I do think we're going to have a pullback right during the rate cut season, and then post a rate cut is when we kind of thrive again here. I tried to do this a long time ago, and it was pretty interesting to see the results of this one. This is just a weird little thing to do. You know, old Fibonacci. Like, we had some resistance levels, what, over here, a little bit right there, and a lot right up here. The next one for Ethereum is at 54,000. We're not going to 54,000, but, right, you shrink this down, it's still pretty accurate as far as what we were looking for here, but it doesn't really matter as much. So if you adjust this a little bit more to all-time highs, move it down over here, we're breaking through another Fibonacci level right there. Resistance, no resistance, but resistance there, resistance there, and a resistance here, and there was resistance here earlier. Possibly 56.67, so about $5,700, $5,600 would be a good next target for me. Ultimately, though, 8,500 would be the place where I think we can really peak at this cycle if we have a really well extended run, but that's going to be so difficult because the market cap is so high. So I take it piece by piece. I tried to go back in time and do like a double Fibonacci off of these two levels. What was it? This one, 40s, 4,093, 4,109. There we go. All right, and you may see some more hiccups in here and stuff like that. So when you see some doubles up that are really close, sometimes you see a little bit more resistance if they're really clustered up. Like right here, we had some resistance for the last few days, but the next cluster doesn't really exist up here. All right, so I would anticipate that the majority of you guys should feel very happy selling your Ethereum this cycle, anywhere between $5,700 and $8,600. I will sell about 20 to 40% of my Ethereum between 5,600 and around 6,500 right here. Okay, that $1,000 range. And I'll wait to see what happens afterwards, right? I'll be patient with it, but I'm gonna sell out a decent chunk of my Ethereum at that time. The good thing for us right now is it seems that Bitcoin dominance is peaked, and we've been breaking down over and over and over again. This is the weekly chart, so it doesn't show every single move down. But right now we're coming back to retest the 20. So I think that we maybe have one more week of rallying before, again, we go into a boring mode where we have to consolidate and altcoins come back down. Now, because altcoins are coming back down, it doesn't mean they're going to go back to their lower lows. They're probably just going to make a new higher low, and they're going to keep on going eventually until we have the rate cuts, right? Dogecoin, right? But some of these tokens, if they have a really big pop, which Dogecoin hasn't had this time, again, we have one more week, we'll see, they come down so fast, which means you kind of want to scale out of some of those trades that you've been buying over the last few weeks, maybe even like 20 to 40%. And if they have a full-on drop moment, you bought down here, you sell the rest of that stuff right there, and if it decides to go back up, whatever, you still locked in that profit. And you could scale it 50% and let the rest of it ride, right? Because again, like we're talking about, higher lows are in the process right now. We're not looking at like breaking down below this stuff. We're just trying to go higher, but this takes weeks and sometimes months. So, you know, I hate to give the same warning I give all the time now, but with all these new institutional traders coming in, it makes it so much more difficult to hold for a long period of time when it comes to altcoins. Again, you could even go to something like a spell token, which is a lower market cap token, right? Go over the weekly chart, right? Even as bad as it's performed over the last few months, it's been going basically flat here, right? Over the last few months, it still managed to make a higher low here. Again, maybe have a breakout, we'll have to see, but oh, that's just it, isn't it, right? Go to any of these tokens right here, they're making higher lows. I don't anticipate them during this next drop to really break down below those higher lows, but I don't think it's going to be worth many people's time to be holding through all that mess. Or holding the full balance of their opening position. I think it's perfectly fine if you scale out 20, 30, 40%. You want the rest of it right. I think that's perfectly fine. Oh, we got above $124,000. We did get above $124,000. There we go. A little bit of a spike right there. I'll take it. But you get the point I'm trying to make right there. K6 hit new all-time highs. Ooh, there you go. Well, I've been watching Weeks. Weeks is the one I told you guys I've been buying into quite a bit here. I've been buying it up for months now, I guess. Whenever I work with an exchange, I usually buy a lot up because you remember I bought a lot of BGB up and I made a killing off of that. I made a killing off of that during a bear market. Spot Pro. This is the weekly chart. Yeah, it's hitting all-time highs as well. Not really boosting, but it's fine. But I started buying this way back over here when I went live, so. And the market cap for WXT, I think, is still pretty small. 146 million, so it can definitely go higher here. Feel bad I didn't buy more, but you know what? I got a dollar cost average into it. I don't got unlimited money to invest, right? And hey, Tony, happy to see my man. Happy to see you, Josh, as well. ADA's breaking out. There we go. And hey, Tony, what do you call it? I feel bad because we're probably topping off a little bit right here, and Tom Crown lives over on the East Coast, right? So he's up late right now. Oh no, it's like 8:30 over there right now. So he's pulling a late night stream. Tom streams a lot more than me though, but he has a really nice setup. Here, let's go. I haven't talked to Tom since Bitcoin Vegas. Did it unsubscribe me? I should be subscribing to his channel. Oompa doompa doom. Guess not. I did not want to do that. There you go. He's smashing. He's happy. He's very, very happy. Very, very happy. Oh, you guys can't see him. Shit. His mind is being blown right now. That mind is being blown right now. Which is a good thing. He nobody doesn't stream this late. You can kind of see that the trend line right there. Bitcoin versus the US dollar. Nice things to see right now. Very nice things to see right there. One of the things that I've learned about him, and we've talked about this, I should make myself larger on the screen, but I feel like it blocks so much stuff out of there, which is always, I've always liked the Benjamin Cohen style of being a little bit smaller on the corners, but that's because he shows the background of his office in there, where I don't have like an, well, I guess I have an office, I use an extra bedroom, but I've got the green screen behind me, you know? And there's a slightly different shade, if you can see from like, oh God, there they go. From here to where my finger goes above, like you can see it's a slight shade. That's because I only have one of my lights on right now and not the other one because it gets too bright for my freaking eyes. There we go. We're still moving up. That's good to see right there. Winning? Yeah, does feel like winning right now. Those Portland 88 kids are something else. Can I do some AVAX? Yeah, let me pull up AVAX very fast. AVAX is actually pretty simple right now, which I kind of enjoy. I was looking at it last night. So AVAX for me is a good opportunity for a buy. It recently broke out of this little bit of a high we were looking at, even if it was just temporarily. But with Bitcoin going bullish probably for the next week or so, you're probably going to be looking at AVAX trying to break out above the 50-day moving average, 50-week moving average here, and trying to make a push up towards $33. I don't anticipate it hitting all the way that high unless we get lucky, but I do believe, because there's two ways of viewing this Fibonacci data, right? The first one is hoping it gets up here to 28 bucks. That's not really special to me, right? The other one is going to be, oh, let me just get rid of this. There you go. Kind of different one. Probably getting up here between $30 and up here on 32. I think this zone right here, probably even the bottom part of this zone is going to be where you're looking for right there. So that can definitely work out. If we're lucky, can he actually have a big boom up here? I think it's technically possible. It definitely can because it's had big moves like that in the past. But I just don't know if there's going to be any big news next week. But long story short, momentum is all set for green. You're up against a big level of resistance. We're already broken above all the moving averages here as far as the daily chart's concerned, and we're having a golden cross here as far as another golden cross that happened a few weeks ago. We're looking all lights are green here except for the level of resistance. If you're willing to play hardball, you can go buy right now with the stop loss right here at $22, which means you're giving up around, where is my, no, that one, there we go, okay. I don't know if you already bought this or not, but your stop loss is going to be right there. So you're risking 11%. Let me just do it this way. Did it take it away? Oh no, it didn't. Okay, there you go. I just like to be able to see it a little bit easier. And let's not go all the way to the line. Probably up. You're risking 11% for 20%. It's an okay one. Probably. It's hard because I don't think Bitcoin's going to go parabolic for the next like 4 weeks straight. I just don't think it's possible. I'd probably say that's a decent enough ratio right there, kind of close to 2. If you go up a little bit higher, which it can, that's close to the 2.56. But somewhere in there, I think is a good opportunity there. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time here, because this thing has had breakouts in the past, and they've just kind of fallen off a cliff here due to news and whatnot. Obviously, interest rates killed that one. You know, what is that over here? No, we didn't have too bad of an April over here. March was a lot worse. The Liberation Day stuff happened this week, which is pretty bad. But besides that, it's been okay. I think it can pop up towards the 30s. But post that, I think it's going to get rejected and have to consolidate for a little bit longer. And then we should be working okay from there. These golden crosses don't mean diddly squat. Jesus. Yeah, nothing on the 20s. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Well, as long as we're still going... Oh, there we go. Still breaking out. We're past $124,000 now. Is this even registering on Twitter? X? Taylor Swift, Resign, Eldest Daughter, Romano, Ophelia, Tyrus, Ruin the Friendship. No Bitcoin. No Bitcoin. Bitcoin from social media has definitely fallen from grace. And I will repost that. Bitcoin hit all-time highs. That's nice to see. Bitcoin just surpassed Google to become the 5th largest asset in the world. Freaking awesome right there. I don't know how it's going to beat gold, but it's making its way. It's only been around for a few years. We got plenty of time. But I mean, we're charging right now, guys. We're charging. Yeah, no way, CT. That moving average gives me some hope it can have a really nice boost next week. Maybe even by the end of this week, actually. Yeah, technically by the end of this week and next week, right? And hey, how's 90? What's Bonzo and Dovu? What's that? I've been DCing into AVAX for a while, loving how the position's looking. Oh yeah, it's holding up very well, and it hasn't really plummeted like a lot of other tokens have been hitting like new fresh lows off of every like dip that we have after we have one of these like nice little rallies. That hasn't been the case for them. And AVAX is loved by a few influencers. I think the most prominent one is George. George very much loves AVAX, and he talks about it all the time. So when you have influencers out there kind of helping you along, talking about the project, keep people energized and kind of informed, I think it goes a long way for the retail side of the space to kind of hop in there and make some money for the long term. Doesn't always work out, but it doesn't hurt to have the influencers pushing it out. You know, like a BitBoy is telling everybody to buy AVAX, I would still think it's a plus, even if people were like, damn, BitBoy is saying it, I don't know, but that people talking about it is still very important. And hey, Polstrin, you were making tamales. Nice to meet you. What's your ethnicity? Richard Hart likes tamales. I don't know. Let me see if I can pull it up. My ancestry is so out of freaking whack. Nobody ever believes me when I say it. Come on, Bitcoin. Let's go up higher. Let me drink some more tea here. Hold on. So I gotta answer a text. What? Got a code for a text. There we go. All right. Ancestry preserve. Oh god, they keep on trying to come up with products to make me do stuff I don't want to buy. There you go. A little bit of rejection happening right here. And then here you go. I'm 19% indigenous Oh, I gotta scroll and use it. Okay, control. There you go. I'm 19% Indigenous America Central because I'm Honduran. I'm 13% Nigerian, which is over here. I'm 9% Spanish because the Spanish came over to mate with the, the Native Americans. And then I'm 7% Benin and Togo, wherever that is. That little thing right there. I'm 7% freaking Irish. I'm 6% Senegal, wherever Senegal is over here. I'm 6% Scottish. 5% Western Bantu peoples over here. Maybe I got some, what do you call me? I got some Shaka Zulu. 4% Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Mali, Central West Africa, Germanic Europe, Basque, you know. There's some stuff mixed in here, but mostly it's just like, would you believe that if you add my Scottish and Irish, I'm over 10% of these people? Like English is England and Northwest Europe, that's 2%. So I'm basically 10% United Kingdom-ish, whatever that is, which is crazy, crazy. And then of course you go over here, Mexico, which is interesting because Indigenous Americas Mexico is like a small 1% in there. Like somehow somebody came over, like they came over here, took some people, used them as slaves, made some wives, and like I got one little piece of theirs, right? I even got some Finland and sporadic Jews or something in there with some Costa Rica. So yeah, I'm a little bit of everything. I am so out of whack, not like in a bad way, right? But yeah, I got so many moving pieces in me, which is absolutely hilarious. But somehow, you know, no, I gotta lose some weight, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I have some type of crazy unattractive face, especially once I tone down a little bit. I use AI every now and again on my videos, and you guys can see the AI of me when I'm skinny. Except for the AI photos, they always put like an earring in my ear, and I don't like earrings in my ears. I don't even have a piercing, right? So yeah, the most I do is wear rings, but I haven't been wearing my rings the last few days because I misplaced them somewhere, and I just don't know what to do with them. Regardless. Bitcoin needs to go straight to 150,000 tonight. Bonk or AVAX, which one will boom? I would say AVAX more short-term, bonk more long-term during altcoin season. 23andMe knew everything? Yeah, exactly. What's right there? Got a solid plot? Yeah, I'm everywhere. I think Answer people just had no idea. Yeah. Let's see. Well, my grandmother's really, really white. My grandfather's really, really black. My mom was black, but my dad was Hispanic, like from like a native Hispanic type. So it makes sense, but it's just kind of crazy to see how the third generation worked out after all that. What was right here? Somebody said, oh, what was my best trade percentage-wise? I guess that would be Dogecoin. That'd be Dogecoin. Now that was back in 2021. I sold it half, as you guys already know. I sold half of my Dogecoin at 50 cents, and I sold a little bit more at 60 and 70 cents. But I bought at 0.0024, and I think from a percentage standpoint, that beats what I did this year with Trump token. What's crazy about Dogecoin is this was a spot trade. It wasn't even a leverage trade. Can you imagine having some leverage and holding to all this shit? It'd be insane. 0.00242, that's close enough. And I sold half at 50 cents. See, at the moment, when you have 50 cents, people are getting mad at me for selling because they're like, oh, it's going to go to $1. But like, damn, ain't I happy I sold at a pretty reasonable good time? But that's around, let's go to 50 cents, there you go. That's around 20,500% return, right? So that's a pretty good return. I even sold it live while I was very high. Although what happened was I used to go live. I used to have a 24-hour stream in my office at my old apartment, which meant I could, hop on the computer anytime I want to and talk with you guys. But unfortunately, all those old streams, a lot of them got taken off of YouTube because they were too much data. So YouTube just kind of cut some of them off. Even if you go to this stream right here, there's a 150-minute long stream, right? You try to watch this sucker, not available. Not available. Right, like 4 years ago, you know, for everyone spreading hate, he has grinded out on the last week, covering Doge almost 24 hours a day for him. Get off him for a second. People were mad I just stopped. Like, I wasn't live streaming all the time. Scammer, like, people, like, it was really bad when I sold my Dogecoin. It was very, very bad. I got some death threats. It was crazy. People wanted me to be a diamond hand. They thought I was a diamond. I was like, I specifically told people like months in advance, 50% was my target to sell half my Dogecoin. Then I would slowly scale out as needed. And didn't that work out? Didn't I make money? Yes, I did. But yeah, I don't think there's any of these videos. I haven't checked out most of them. I usually check out this one. View on YouTube. Live stream recording not available. Okay, maybe if I go down to something that like was shorter, like this 67 hours, maybe a 67-hour one. Maybe that'll. Oh, I can't even download it. If I can't download it, it's not available anymore. Can't download it. Can't download it. This is one that did okay. I can't. Oh yeah, I think they're just too old or something like that. There's Shiba Inu and Dogecoin 1. Yeah, these are all unavailable to watch. Crazy now. Some great memories that we had, but you can't even download them. Yeah, they're gone. YouTube is like, yeah, fuck all that data, which I can't blame. That's like 87 hours of content right there. 87 hours, 138 hours of content. I understand it. I definitely understand it there. Let's go back over here very fast. Let's peek back up to Bitcoin. Looks like we're facing a little bit more resistance around 124,000. Although we do have all-time highs now of 124,474, which is absolutely fantastic. Round up and you have an awesome dude. What days do I normally stream? So I was out of commission last week, so I suffer from like really bad ADHD, and I'm trying to get better editing and all that type of stuff. So I need to have my brain power back. So I started taking a couple pills last week, like 3 different ADHD medications. And so they were making me very drowsy. So I just basically took last week off to kind of acclimate and figure out the best times to try them out. And I switched out a couple medications. So I wasn't streaming last week. Preferably, I like to stream Sunday through Thursday and take Fridays and Saturdays off so I can go out and have some fun. And I usually work every day for YouTube. But the days I'm not working, like Fridays and Saturdays, I'm usually editing videos. And I'm trying to learn and like better myself as a YouTuber. But I will say you will usually find me Sunday through Thursday from now on at 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's usually the time I like to stream. Sometimes I will go live a little bit earlier or a little bit later depending on my personal schedule. But I try to be pretty straightforward. I think I will go live at random times throughout the day when I get the chance. But right now I really need to focus and just get this fucking stuff out of the way as far as me editing, because my plan is to simply create a timeline where, like right now, if you look at my latest video, it just has like a Michael Whitman logo on it, and then it just has a subscribe button. Well, pretty soon I want to be able to add B-roll in there and just say, hey, for the top 5 videos, right? That's what I'm gonna practice making it. And then I know after I say my intro, my face isn't going to be on the video anymore until the very end. I do my statement like, hey, it's really me talking, right? And then we go to B-roll, talking about whatever the topic of today, AI, whatever. And then I start listing off the top 5 tokens, and I have a B-roll for that. Then I have an infographic that pops up, and it kind of explains what the stock is about while the B-roll is still going forward, and I'm still talking, right? And what makes it difficult is I have this teleprompter right here, but it's broken. I don't know how it broke, and I want to buy another one, but I don't want to wait for it to come in yet. Right? Actually, and it's not broken. It's not broken. The software for it is broken, which is why it's so much more difficult to fix it, because you can't just buy your way out of that. I don't know why the software is broken. It won't even work with the camera. Then you can see me right here with this app. Works perfectly fine, but with the camera hub from Elgato, it just doesn't work for some reason. Long story short, though, how do I explain this? I can't memorize sentences very well at all, very much. So if I say something, it's going to be like following the kind of flow of the script when I'm talking, but it won't be the exact word for word. And I'm going to be fine with that as long as I don't stutter and I sound pretty confident when I'm saying, right? And then when I'm doing the data of what we're talking about, the technical analysis, not the technical analysis, but like, you know, what's the market cap of the company, what they do. When I'm doing all that reading, I'll be reading from a script plain as day that I've typed up myself. And then when it gets to the outro, I'll be like, hey, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new and you guys want to learn more about, you know, which types of stocks and investments may be up your alley, you know, please consider subscribing to the channel. Something generic like that. Or today's video was sponsored by Weeks Exchange or BYD Exchange, whatever. And I'll have that in there. Then I'll have a sponsor segments in there and all that type of stuff. But I have to kind of add all that stuff piecemeal. So by the time I become proficient in editing, I'll be able to just input the video in there, crop it up as needed, and then just put the pieces into place, and everything will be very similar. The same B-roll will be in the back every time. Maybe every 5 videos I switch out the background B-roll for all the videos and I put something new, right? Every year I pay a yearly subscription because I've been trying to get better editing, but I just haven't because ADHD kind of makes me lose control of my discipline. I don't know. And I pay for this service called Envato. And basically, because I pay for this yearly, I have access to so much stock video. Like every type of stock video you can imagine, I got access to all of it. So example, me, AI, right? I'm making some AI top stuff. Well, how is this AI? Oh, portrait with software developed with AI glasses, reading AI algorithm. Oh, please. AI, that's aliens, but you get what I'm saying. There's some stuff in here, right? That I could use. Primarily, I don't use AI. What I search for instead is tech, because tech is just a little bit better for me. But I was hoping AI would actually get some more results. But yeah, you get a bunch of stuff in here, and you get a lot of B-roll, which is pretty darn nice. You guys have seen it in some of my videos. I can have like, hey, I want it to be in 4K. I want it to be in 30 frames per second, because that's usually what I work in right there. Right? I can choose the length. I can choose if it's looped or not. I can have it be horizontal, not vertical. And then boom, I can kind of just go through here and see what I like, right? And I kind of choose it pretty well, and I'll put it into a folder. And I don't even know where my folder is because I haven't done a video in a minute. Test results. What test results are those even? Oh, I don't even know where it's at. It's hidden away in my files section somewhere. OBS files, and oh, there it is, Envato. Oop. Yep, drag it, there you go. You can see all the video files and stuff like that. Well, these are just widgets. Infographic, animated list. Oh, this is part of it. I got a few different things, but whatever. You get the point there. I'm really deciding to work on that, but it's tough. My brain is not like, how do I describe this? If we were both corporate, like I used to work corporate, right? So I used to have a really tough workload. Pay was fantastic, but it was just a tough workload, right? Most people have like a 9-to-5 job or somewhere that realm of hours, right? With like an hour lunch break or something in the middle. I would have to work to get the same job as everybody else, like 9 to 9, like an extra 4 hours of my day every day, right? In order to get that job done. It was a challenge, but the money made it worth it, you know, and all that type of stuff. But it was just definitely a challenge. It was definitely a challenge. And hey, productivity, be careful with ADHD methods. According to my brother, they backfire long term. What do you call? Accidentally, I observed that. Accidentally, I can't. Whatever you're saying there, I get what you're saying. I don't take ADHD medication all that often. I usually take it like for like a month and I stop, and then a month and I stop. Not even a month, like maybe 2 months and I stop. Let it get enough time to work in. And we'll see how it works out. But I haven't taken them for years, so like consistently for years, I would say, right? But I don't even do Adderall and stuff like that. Adderall's too strong. I have to get like the very what do you call that stuff? The non-stimulant types, because those stimulant types are crazy. Proximity, yeah. Mother giving them stuff like that can, yeah, that can definitely mess you up. But for me, you know, it's one of the reasons I don't think I did particularly well in college is because I had ADHD, but I didn't have the money to go to the doctor to get a prescription for it. Crazy, right? What confluence do you look for to go ahead and place a trade, if you don't mind me asking? Like fib, volume, profile, buy signal, MCB, for example? No, what do you call? I typically will go look at the MACD, a stochastic with personalized settings that I have is called 2155 as far as the 3 numbers there. And then with the RSI, if all of those are bullish on the weekly chart, plus you have a change of character that's green as far as the market structure is concerned, I'll usually go long there on the weekly charts or the daily charts. If I'm going to be going long on the daily charts, I need the weekly charts to be bullish. If I want to go long on the 4-hour charts, I want the weekly and the daily charts to be bullish. If I'm going to be going long on the 15-minute chart, I want the 4-hour and 1 hour to be bullish. It doesn't even matter about the daily charts and weekly charts at that point, right? But I need all that stuff to be layered in there and be bullish, right? Then I feel more likely of making a trade. If everything is aligned, I'll probably toss on a 5 to 10 to maybe even 50x leverage. If I only have half of the stuff working in my favor, I probably won't make the trade. If I got 70% of everything working, I'll probably only do something about 5x leverage and not do the 20, 30x leverage type of place, right? A little bit different. I mean, I have a tutor and I had to train ADHD out of my students without using the doctor. I saw results, so I guess that counts. There you go. For me, it's so weird is, I have a nice style of living and everything despite having my ADHD. But I think the hard part for me was just to understand that like my brain does not work like that. I'm probably sure I probably even have some autism or something in there. I think it's autism. One of my friends' dad said I might have it. Again, this was not like a test or something like that. I told him that when I was younger, and even still to this day, not nearly as bad as today. Imagine you have a cord, and this is the wall socket, right? And you normally touch the socket, you kind of pull out the cord, right? Or the whatever, you pull it out. Well, sometimes I'd pull from over here, and it wouldn't pull out for whatever reason. And instead of just literally going the few extra inches to pull it out, I would start yanking so much that it would just break. And I'm in like, getting pissed. That just may be anger management issues or something like that. But I usually don't get mad like that. My thing is whenever I'm forced to really work, which is why I don't consider this work, because I'm not really concentrating like that, right? Normally when I work and I'm working hard on something like learning how to edit, I will get my brain feels strained. And by that, I mean, you guys know there's a little bit of frustration that comes when you try to thread a needle and it's just not going in there. So your brain is like, That's the same thing that happens to my brain when I work hard. It's like, stop. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, it's absolutely insane right there. You have a nice ancestry. Richard Hart would be proud of you. Yeah, do that lazy chord stuff too. Yeah, so it is what it is. Oh my God, here we go. All right, everybody, we've been talking for 2 hours. I gotta call it a night because I have to get ready to go out. It doesn't look like it, but I'm wearing shorts right now, and I haven't taken a shower today. Well, I took a shower this morning, but I didn't take another shower because I was outside playing with Loki in the dirt, and I'm covered in dirt. At least my skin is. You guys can't tell, obviously, but I am. At least my hands are somewhat clean. No, you can see some muck in there from playing with Loki. But it was nice hanging with all of you guys today. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow's a big day, so please just don't forget that we have PPI data coming out. It's not as important as CPI, which is why nobody's really talking about it right now, but it is important, and it does have the justification, like the power to move Bitcoin down if something is extremely high there. If we're meeting expectations, I think that's perfectly fine. We just don't want to see something very catastrophic going on, okay? For right now, I still think dollar cost averaging is fine. If you guys happen to see a specific token that is up against a moving average on the weekly or daily charts, I do think it's appropriate right now to open up some longs across them. Of course, it becomes a little bit easier once we have the data tomorrow, but I do think because everything is doing fine right now to probably hop onto some of those trains. I don't think this rally is going to last for months and months and months. I believe we will continue to be very boring with this market having a big pop every now and again, then consolidating before the next big pop. We are still moving very, very rapidly, don't get me wrong, but you know, by the 2021 standards, we are moving at a snail's pace, and I think that's just something we really have to adjust to right now. Tomorrow you can expect us to do more technical analysis, more Q&As and stuff like that. I'll try to find some news and some stuff to talk about. And maybe we can do some deep dives into some projects. Again, when we're vibing like this and you guys are commenting and asking me questions, I feel like I can talk forever, which is fantastic. When it dies off, I think I'm just going to quit the stream a little bit early. But when we're vibing, we're vibing. I think that's going to be the way we go here. And that's why I said tomorrow, because of all the comments that were going back and forth with this one. I think I'll probably try to do a 3-hour stream tomorrow, at least set aside 3 hours of my day. So from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and after that I'll probably hit up the cigar lounge and chill out with some friends and say hi to them, like I'm planning to do tonight, right? So I will see you guys a little bit later on tomorrow. Aim for 4 p.m. I'll make the stream go live like tonight, so you guys will know, like you guys will set the reminders and stuff like that. And then if you guys have any questions as far as today and stuff like that, let me know. And hey, well, do you like the bigger head? Thank you. I'm just keep it at that high here. And hey, productivity, that's good. I sucked at math. The only good math class that I ever had wasn't even math, it was physics. I got A+ in physics. I got D in chemistry and a D in math classes. The C's in math classes, but I was not good. So I'll see you guys a little bit later. Background while studying is definitely a good thing. So hopefully see you guys a little bit later. Thanks.